Do you know where your favorite foods come from? You might be surprised. Let's dive into the fascinating world of food origins. Take ketchup, for instance. Today, it's a tomato-based staple in households worldwide. But did you know it started life as a type of fish sauce in China? That's right. It was a far cry from the sweet and tangy condiment we slather on our fries today. And speaking of unexpected beginnings, let's talk about cornflakes. Now, you might enjoy a bowl of these crisp golden flakes for breakfast. But their original purpose was far from culinary delight. Cornflakes were actually invented by Dr. John Harvey Kellogg in the late 19th century as part of a diet plan for his sanitarium patients. His goal? To discourage certain behaviors he deemed unhealthy. Talk about a crunchy surprise. Here's another food fact that's sure to raise your brows. Did you know that the beloved sandwich was not deliberately created as a meal? It was actually the result of a gambling habit. The story goes that John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich, wanted a meal he could eat with one hand so he wouldn't have to leave his card game. His solution was to put meat between two pieces of bread, and voila, the sandwich was born. And let's not forget about the humble potato chip. This crispy snack was born out of spite when a customer at Moon's Lake House, a restaurant in Saratoga Springs, New York, kept sending his fried potatoes back, complaining they were too thick. The chef, George Crumb, decided to slice the potatoes paper thin and fry them until they were crispy as a jest. The customer loved them, and the potato chip was born. So, the next time you reach for that ketchup bottle, remember its fishy past. Or when you're enjoying a sandwich or munching on a potato chip, think about their quirky origins. It's a tasty reminder that sometimes the most delightful things can come from the most unexpected places. Ever wonder what the world's priciest foods are? Hold on to your wallets. Starting off our list is the spice known as saffron, also referred to as red gold. Originating from a flower called Crocus sativus, it requires an immense amount of labor to harvest. Over 200,000 strands of saffron are needed to weigh in at a single pound. That's an awful lot of plucking. It's no surprise that this labor-intensive spice can command a price tag of up to $5,000 per pound. Next up, we have the elusive white truffle. This underground gold is a rare delicacy. Primarily found in the Italian countryside, the hunt for these culinary treasures is not for the faint-hearted. It requires specially trained dogs or pigs to sniff out these hidden gems. Because of their scarcity and the difficulty in finding them, white truffles can fetch up to $10,000 per pound. Last but certainly not least, we have the matsutake mushrooms. These aromatic beauties are highly prized in Japan and are often given as prestigious gifts. The catch? They're extremely hard to find, and their growth is greatly affected by environmental changes. This means they can be as fickle as they are delicious. The price for these elusive fungi can soar up to $1,000 per pound. But why are these foods so expensive? The answer lies in their rarity and the difficulty in harvesting them. In the case of saffron, it's the sheer labor involved. For white truffles and matsutake mushrooms, it's the combination of rarity and the need for specially trained animals to find them. These factors all contribute to the hefty price tags. So, before you grumble about the cost of your next grocery shop, remember these luxury foods and their astronomical prices. It might just make that supermarket bill seem a little less daunting. So, if you're looking to splurge, why not try a dash of saffron in your next dish? Ever thought of combining ice cream and fries? Sounds weird? Wait till you hear more. Let's dive into the realm of unusual but surprisingly delectable food combinations. First up, we have the sweet and salty duo of ice cream and fries. Imagine this. You're enjoying a creamy cold scoop of vanilla ice cream, and you decide to take a bite of a crispy hot French fry. The contrast of the hot fry with the cold ice cream, the crunchiness meeting the smoothness, and the mix of sweet and salty flavors is a culinary adventure that is hard to describe but definitely worth the experience. Next on our list is peanut butter and pickles. Yes, you heard it right, peanut butter and pickles. This combination might sound strange at first, but think about it. The creaminess of the peanut butter perfectly balances the tanginess of the pickles. There's a reason why pickles are often paired with fatty foods. The tartness cuts through the richness, creating a harmonious balance of flavors that is downright addictive. And for those of you with a daring palate, have you tried mixing popcorn with milk like a cereal? The buttery popcorn, when soaked in milk, transforms into a unique breakfast treat. It's a bit like sweet corn cereal, but with an extra layer of savory flavor from the butter. Or how about a grilled cheese sandwich with a dollop of strawberry jam? The sweetness of the jam complements the savory cheese and toasted bread, creating a taste that is reminiscent of a cheese and fruit platter. Lastly, consider the unlikely pairing of pizza and honey. Drizzling a little honey on a slice of pizza, especially one with a salty topping like pepperoni, creates an unexpected but delightful contrast of flavors. It's a twist on the classic sweet and savory combo that you're bound to love. So, don't knock it until you try it. These weird combinations might just become your new favorite. Who knows, you might be just a bite away from discovering your next food obsession. Ever wonder why you crave certain foods? The answer might be in your brain. Food cravings can sometimes seem like a mysterious force, driving us to raid the fridge late at night or make a detour for that donut shop on the way to work. But the truth is, there's a lot of science behind why we crave what we crave. Let's start with the basics. You see, our brains are wired to seek out rewards, and food, particularly food that's high in fat and sugar, is a big one. These types of foods trigger the release of certain chemicals in the brain, like dopamine, that make us feel good. It's like a little party in your brain every time you bite into a juicy burger or a piece of chocolate cake. But it's not just about the dopamine. There's also a hormone called ghrelin that plays a role in our food cravings. Ghrelin is often referred to as the hunger hormone because it's responsible for sending those hunger signals to your brain. When your stomach is empty, ghrelin levels increase, and you start to feel hungry. And guess what? Ghrelin levels also increase when we see or smell food, which explains why you might suddenly find yourself craving pizza when you walk past a pizzeria. But what about those weird cravings for pickles or ice cream in the middle of the night? Well, it turns out that these might be your body's way of telling you that you need certain nutrients. For example, if you're craving salty foods, it might be because your body needs more sodium. And finally, let's not forget about the role of memory and emotion in our food cravings. Comfort foods, those dishes that remind us of home or bring back fond memories, can trigger cravings too. It's why grandma's apple pie might be irresistible, even if you're not usually a dessert person. So, the next time you're craving that chocolate bar, blame your brain. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane and revisit some of the most surprising facts we've learned today. We've taken your taste buds on quite a journey, haven't we? From the quirky origins of our beloved foods to the astronomical price tags of some delicacies, and the peculiar yet palatable combinations that have us questioning our sanity. Let's start with a dollop of ketchup, a condiment we often take for granted. Did you know it started its life as a fermented fish sauce in East Asia? Yes, the sweet and tangy tomato-based sauce we slather on our fries was once a far cry from what we know today. It was only when it reached the shores of England that tomatoes were introduced into the mix, giving us the ketchup we love. Next, we delved into the world of expensive foods, and saffron took the cake. This golden spice, worth its weight in gold, is harvested from the crocus flower. Each flower yields only 3 strands, making it the most labor-intensive spice to harvest. So the next time you're savoring a dish with saffron, remember, you're eating gold. We also took a detour into the realm of weird food pairings, where the unusual becomes the norm. Who would have thought that combining salty pretzels with sweet ice cream could create a gastronomic delight, or that pickles and peanut butter make a strangely satisfying duo? It all comes down to the perfect balance between different flavors and textures. Finally, we explored the science behind our cravings. Do you ever wonder why you're always reaching for that chocolate bar when you're stressed? It's because foods high in sugar and fat release feel-good chemicals in our brain, providing a temporary respite from stress. Remember, the world of food is full of surprises, and every bite you take has a story behind it. Until next time, keep exploring and enjoying the wonderful world of food.